Newcastle Fans TV.
Yes, hello everybody. So because of stadium restrictions, we're left with this little mic here today, but this is the last word, high tech. You've seen obviously me and Carl's reaction a little bit earlier. You've seen the vlog, the scenes amongst the away fans. It was fantastic, unbelievable. But we've got to get the sponsorships out the way. Have a look at this, OneFootball.
What a January transfer window it has been, and I couldn't have got through it without the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app has everything you need, news, gossip, and everything in between. Lee, you've had the OneFootball app for a while now. How much do you love it?
I love it. I'm just looking at all the confirmed transfers that have been happening. It's been a very busy January for Newcastle, and the stories are still happening, and it puts all the articles together, so you don't need to look anywhere else.
The link's in the description. Download the OneFootball app now.
Right, yeah, so OneFootball proudly sponsor NFTV, and we are delighted that they are sponsoring us because the stats are win, and a few draws in there, And with Carl, as you can see, this is the last word. We've got Eddie Howe's reaction coming up shortly. We've got some in-game clips as usual, and we'll begin, as we always do, with the lineup. Only one change. Joelinton out, not even on the bench. Possible niggle, maybe he's being rested for Sunday, but Bruno comes in. What were your thoughts on the lineup?
I think we can all say it's not seeing Joelinton in the side. Everyone was a little bit disappointed because of how good he has been. But like I said, we don't know what the reason it was. But other than that, for what was available, I was relatively happy with it. I think we all come in today would have been happy with the point, and everyone stepped up and we've ended up getting more than that. So yeah, I was relatively happy with what was available, definitely. Yeah,
considering what we learned, that there was no ASM, there was no Joelinton, I personally think we're just getting rested.
Probably.
That's what I personally think. But yeah, Southampton side, obviously, I was saying to the two lads, Chris and Carl earlier, that 12 games unbeaten, 5.5 months unbeaten at home, and Hassan Hootel, I know they've just been walloped by Villa 4-0 recently, and Newcastle have just inflicted another defeat on them, and that side, what you see on the screen, is very much a high quality side, especially Ward-Prowse. But the first half then didn't get off to a great start, did we?
No, I thought immediately we were putting a little bit of pressure on them, but so I think that kind of dried up pretty quickly within the first 6 to 7 minutes, and then Southampton started to get hold of the ball and just felt like we were fending off. There wasn't anything massively sustained attacks from Southampton, but they were worrying because we got pace down the left-hand side against the likes of Kraft. We were worried about that to start off with. They were constantly trying to get forward and back him and Jacob Murphy. It was almost as though both of them were playing kind of wing back at one point. So they did look dangerous down that side, but I don't think anyone really looked like scoring up until obviously the goals come about.
Yeah, the goal, I mean, you can see it's very unfortunate. If Dan Burn just gets it away, it's an easy catch for Dubravka.
Definitely, it was really unfortunate. I couldn't believe it almost trickled in as well. I kind of felt like if Dubravka could have seen what had gone on, he'd have still been able to get it, but it was really unlucky. I think they might have been on top at that point, but I wouldn't have said would deserve to be 1-0 down. If that had gone in at half time at 0-0, it would have been completely understandable. There wasn't anything of note other than the goal, obviously.
Yeah, it wasn't a great first half. It was quite scrappy, to be honest with you. But we've been dying for him to score his first goal, dying for Chris Wood, and he just leaps high. It's a great cross in from Ryan Fraser again. I asked you both. Ryan Fraser's performing on that left side. Should he be moved over to the right hand side because of ASM? I don't personally think so, but because the quality isn't there with Murphy. Mm-hmm. Would you play ASM on that right hand side because Fraser's playing so well on the left, or do you think there's an imbalance?
I do think there is a bit of an imbalance.
I'm going left field here now.
No. It's a fair question. I think it is a difficult one because it's one of those. I've openly criticised Maximin at times, but then when I do that, he has that moment of magic like Hatem Ben Arfa did. So it's really difficult to justify dropping him from the squad. And if that's where his best position is. Again, it's difficult to switch the two. You don't really want to change something that's not broken in a sense. But Ryan Fraser's crossing ability is second to none. And again, he's proven that I don't know what I'm talking about because he's someone that I criticised under Steve Bruce, so I didn't want to see him anywhere near Newcastle.
I remember you saying that because I was like, no, play him in his position, give him a run of games. You know what you get, whipping in balls, and Chris Wood loves that and he leaps high. Thank you very much. The scenes are all gone nuts. You can see the two handsome brothers celebrating as on your screen there, going absolutely crackers, equaliser, Newcastle score. And to be honest, I didn't think really both goalkeepers were really tested to the end of that first half, but we're going into half time. Eddie Howe, I said to you, Eddie Howe needs to kick up the arses, because I just didn't think Kraft and Murphy were doing anything going forward, and defensively I was worried about that. But they came out the second half. We scored fairly early on.
It was
we did score fairly on, didn't we?
I can't remember.
I can't much of a blur, just singing.
But I can't remember what minute it was we scored. But I felt again like Southampton. There was a kick up the arse, but I think from where we were sat, it seemed like for a sustained period that Southampton had more of the ball than we did.
They weren't doing that well, were
they? Again, like you said, there wasn't any tests on Dubravka at all. There was a couple of pot shots, but once that goal went in, and I don't think that was against the run of play. It was just we started to get a foot on of the game and then start driving forward. And once Bruno's finished that, from there, the crowd were going absolutely mad. The atmosphere was unbelievable, and Newcastle were pushing on. Then, and I genuinely we could have scored two in that short time period, but we're just not taking the chances and trying to pass the ball around the box, unfortunately. But Forster did well under that pressure, and I think we fully deserved to win in the end. Personally, that's me being biased. But I could probably see why Southampton might feel like they were unlucky not to come away with a point as well, to be honest, because it was a relatively even game.
It wasn't like fully one-sided, was it? But yeah, once you've mentioned that the crowd were going nuts. There was a chance straight after, but after that, it kind of like it was all against Southampton. They made a few forward changes as well. They were trying to go for it, and obviously Eddie Howe made a couple later on with Sean Longstaff and coming on, and a couple of injuries later on. But Newcastle did grind out. They hung on. 6 minutes of added time. I was like, where's that come from? But Newcastle did hang on. It was fantastic, and it wasn't the greatest performance, but we're grinding out wins. That tells you something about this team and the players coming in to replace the big name players who would normally play but because of injuries. But
putting their bodies on the line again, aren't they? That's what they're doing, like they did under Rafa. Everyone's just putting their bodies on the line. We didn't have that under Steve Bruce. Everyone's playing for the badge again, and I don't even think it's about wanting to keep places in the future, because I think a lot of them will know that they're probably not going to be here in the next couple of seasons. But the fact that they're just putting it on the line to keep us in the Premier League is what we've been waiting for years. Like I'm so glad I've been able to be here tonight. I've missed being at the games, and tonight is exactly why. It's just unbelievable. It wasn't the greatest performance, but it just embodied what Newcastle's become. We've got our club back, and I think tonight's sort of performance is exactly what that is, grinding out results against a decent side as well.
It's a very dogged display. Here's Eddie Howe.
Yeah, it's a really tough place to come, especially when you're a goal down and probably not playing at your best levels. So I thought that the players really did give everything physically today. They really dug in. It was a real physical effort today that won us that game, and there was some really, really good individual displays in amongst a team performance that won't rank as our best, but a brilliant way to come from behind and win. For Chris, probably more than me, all I care about is the team. Obviously I want the individuals within the team to flourish and do well, so I'm delighted for him on a personal level, but he's made a huge impact for the team. I've said that in countless interviews, and I don't say it unless I mean it, but the goal is important for him, and it was a great goal as well. Great ball from Jonjo, and a great header at a time in the game when we needed it, because we had to respond quite quickly to going behind, because Southampton started well.
That was Eddie Howe, absolutely over the moon. Look, we'll before we wrap up, obviously credit all the fans, credit to Carl, Chris, myself, everybody else this year, because it's a long journey for all of us. I'm going to go home and enjoy editing tonight, and it's good, because you mentioned just before we heard from Eddie Howe, it's a different Newcastle all of a sudden, and it's mad because I reeled off some of them stats right at the beginning of the video. Unbeaten in 5 months, 12 games unbeaten, and none of our star players available. So, but the league table looks sexy as out.
31 points are we on now?
I don't know.
I think it's how the fuck are we on 31 points?
I mean, look at the teams just above where. You've got Leicester, Villa, Palace.
I don't know how Villa finished up. I know they were 1-0 up early on. They won. So Villa won 1-0. So they're keeping that gap. But, we actually could push for the top half of football.
Because I think that is mental saying that. It is though, isn't it?
I think the majority of us reside to the fact that we probably get as much as
after that Cambridge FA Cup game.
Yeah. we all rated Eddie Howe. We were all happy with the appointment, but I think we thought, he's been left in the shit here. This is a really difficult position for him to turn around. 9 games unbeaten, and not against easy sides either. We've had to beat teams around us. Southampton, mid-table. What can I say? Like, we could genuinely push for mid-table, which is ridiculous. We all thought we were going down. I was like, yeah, we're done. Like, we're getting relegated.
Yeah, just a small, test of Chelsea to come, but
we're going to beat them.
Yeah, the lads are confident, and hopefully we've got Joe Litton, ESM in there. Obviously, now they carry on with Chelsea are going through at the minute, but it doesn't affect any fans who are going down there. You can still go to the games with your tickets. But that is it from St Mary's doing the South Coast. We'll see you all later. Ta-da.